Democratic Congressman Khanna. He is a member of the House Armed Services and Oversight Committees. Congressman, certainly I know you oppose him, but President Trump is certainly an effective political messenger. What is to say that he can't sell this legislation to the American people, despite what polling is saying about the bill right now?
Brianna, I don't want to get into the bickering or the politics. I'm just saddened by the Medicaid cuts and the cuts to the Affordable Care Act. Let me explain just three things that are going to happen. They're no longer the same level of subsidies for the Affordable Care Act. That means people who are getting insurance on the exchanges in the Affordable Care Act, their premiums are going to go up, in my state maybe even double. Second, private insurance premiums are going to go up because hospitals are going to have to charge private insurance more given the Medicaid cuts. And third, a lot of people are going to lose health care and hospitals are going to close. And that's just sad, and we need to fight to reverse it.
So I do want to listen to what some of your colleagues across the aisle said after they passed this bill.
This is a big win for Americans across the country.
We passed actual transformational legislation that will impact every family.
I can tell you that this bill is going to be a great thing for everybody around the country. This is jet fuel for the economy, and all boats are going to rise.
How do you counter that?
Well, by showing Americans what's going to happen. I think instead of being in Washington, we need to show up when a rural hospital closes. We need to show up when a family says their insurance premiums went up. In terms of the tax cuts and this idea that that's going to spark business investment, we know that's not true because they extended the 2017 Trump tax cuts. The Fed did a study about that. That did not increase business investment. In fact, what was found is that the corporations use that for stock buybacks or to pay down debt. So we've basically given tax breaks to the wealthiest. 60% of the breaks go to people earning over $220,000. And it's come at the expense of taking away food assistance, taking away health care. And the people who are most affected when you take away health care and food assistance are often the kids. So it's just sad that we've enacted this policy.
Major cuts to Medicaid, as you mentioned. Trump has denied in the past nearly 15 million people in California relying on Medicaid. Cuts to SNAP, as you mentioned, that food assistance. What can California do on the state level to compensate for the cuts?
Well, it's going to be difficult, but I think we need to be willing to raise taxes on the wealthy so that we can support our hospitals, so that we don't have to make cuts to Medi-Cal, but it is challenging for all states, and all states are going to have to make difficult decisions. But it's important, Brianna, for people to understand this doesn't just affect people who are on Medicaid, which are a lot of folks. It's also going to affect private insurance. The biggest way that hospitals get reimbursed is Medicaid. When they get less money from Medicaid, that means they got to bill private insurance more. Well, guess what? Private insurance premiums are going to go up, and this is unfortunately going to become very evident. You can't spin facts, and when people see they voted for Donald Trump to bring down their cost of living, and when they see their health care premiums are going up, I don't think they're going to be happy.
We saw Hakeem Jeffries in a very visible display today on the House floor for several hours. What else will Democrats do to capitalize on the unpopularity of the bill?
I think it's less about politicians speaking, less about me doing interviews like this, and more ordinary Americans telling their stories. You know, we need to show, not tell. We've got to show up where hospitals are being affected. We've got to show up where premiums are going up. We've got to show up and tell the story of families who were using these benefits to survive and what impact it's having on our kids. You know, the biggest investment we can make in America's future is our children. And you have a poverty trap when people lack health care, when they lack food assistance, that ultimately deprives America's kids of the future they need.
Congressman Khanna of California, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Brianna.